Now coming to the stage, Alex Martin. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Sit down. Sit down. So my wife and I were on a walk, and she saw a cardinal and wanted to name it Cardi, original. And then I noticed that there were two cardinals, and so I said, why don't we name one Cardi A and the other one Cardi B? That was a stupid joke. That's not how the rest of this is going to go, I promise. Isn't it weird that we are perfectly okay with cover bands? Like bands playing music that they didn't write. Like, would you want to go hear Don't Stop Believin' by Not Journey? Hell yeah, I'm in. But in any other profession, that sounds crazy. Would you want to go watch a movie with not the actual actors? What? No. They tried that with Fantastic Four. But especially with comedy, like, can you imagine cover comics? Just going to a show and being like, whatever, man, I love these jokes. Bo Rogan sounds just like the real thing. I actually am going to cover a bit of a joke tonight, or as I call it, perform comedy karaoke. Because it really got me thinking. Isn't it weird that we measure things in horsepower? Like still to this day? Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about rockets one day and said, isn't it funny that we measure rocket ships in horsepower? His joke was that no matter how many horses you tie together, they will not create lift and fly into space. His joke. And that is true. But it also got me thinking, why do we still measure things in horsepower? And what other crazy things do we use this measurement for? We don't go around measuring things in stone much anymore. Probably because referring to your girlfriend's weight as 10 stone isn't very sexy. Did you know that garage door openers are measured in half of a horsepower? Now, I don't know about you, but I think the same ridiculousness applies. Because if I came across half a horse, I don't think it would be emitting much power. Just a tail and two legs lying on the ground. And if you pictured the other half, it's even sadder. Did you know there's also such a thing as metric horsepower? Apparently the horses in Europe aren't quite as strong as ours here. That's right, 1 metric horsepower is 98.6% of an imperial horsepower. Now I can hear the Europeans saying, most of the horses in America actually came from Europe. How is this possible? True, but our horses had to learn to work a little bit harder to carry the people up in the Midwest. So we took that 98.6 number and rounded up, which is exactly what those people did to their bodies that created this problem in the first place. They rounded them up. It's a vicious cycle, really. My wife was talking about having another wedding ceremony and renewing our vows someday, and it sounded really nice. Until she started referring to it as me needing to renew my subscription. So I played along and said, oh, I thought I was more on the no risk, cancel at any time plan. Now, I thought the game was over right there, but I was wrong. Because she proceeded to lock me out of the bedroom and say that my subscription level didn't have access to that premium content. I love my wife, and we lead a very fun and interesting life together. Some of her direct quotes that I have never forgotten are I can usually eat a whole box of mac and cheese, except for that time that I also ate a pizza. Or I just had powdered sugar and now I have the strength of 1,000 suns. Based on those two quotes, you would think she weighs at least 10 stone. Those are direct quotes. This is how you know you married the right person. But something even funnier happened the other day when we were playing Pictionary. I was trying to draw that profession that uses a blowtorch and has the metal face shield. A welder, right. My wife couldn't think of that word and instead guessed incendiario, which made me wonder, do you think this person with the torch and the face shield is using some sort of spell from Harry Potter to do their work? We do like games, and we play a lot of them. Board, video, love. This also made me think of other games we have played growing up, and I started thinking about Simon Says. Now I'm fascinated with the game Simon Says. Not like the strategy of it or anything, could you imagine? No, I'm fascinated with the history of such a game. Were people just sitting around like, I'm bored, me too. Let's just do what that guy says. And then Simon, who is Simon? Was he just the first person to start telling people to do stuff? And if that is true, that means he was talking in the third person the whole time, which, I'm gonna be honest, would be really distracting that first time through. Unless he was like, Simon says, jump. Sorry, did you just refer to yourself? Jump! Okay. And then just like that, they all lost. I want to talk about some other games that I've come across as well. These were some of the most popular board games from the 1950s. Number 1, Candyland. Okay, yeah, to be expected. I don't even have a joke about that. Number 2, Scrabble. Again, okay, fine. But I think that might answer my previous question that yes, they were really that bored when they came up with Simon Says. The choices are now that and spelling. Number 3, Peter Pan the board game. You probably didn't even know that there was a board game, but this was when the movie came out, so I get it. But now, number 4, a game called Traffic Jam. Traffic Jam the board game. Because nothing is more fun than simulating being stuck in your car. The description for this game is literally players drive around the board trying to get to their destination first by strategically placing road signs and getting lucky on the die. They say right there that the best hope to win is to just get lucky. You know, like traffic. Then it says, win or lose, it is guaranteed to be more fun than a real traffic jam. Yeah. Yeah, they're setting the bar pretty low on that one. You know what else is more fun than being stuck in a traffic jam? Taxes, dieting, making your bed. Almost everything is more fun than sitting in traffic, even if it is just simulated traffic. Okay, more games. The next most popular game in 1954, Careers. That is 2 slow years for the board game market. Let's get stuck in traffic and then go to a career. You know, that thing I do every day during the week? Let's throw some of that in on the weekend, too. This game reads, be the first to finish a formula for success by choosing between fame, happiness, money, or a combination of those options. So I can choose between those or just take them all? Yeah, I'll take all 3. I think I win. That would be like saying you could be tall or good looking or rich Or you could have all three. Which do you choose? Did anybody not take all three? Because I want to kick their ugly little ass. What, they obviously picked rich without reading the rest of the rules. Remember when you were taking tests in school and you read a question and then got to the first answer and were like, yes, this one, 100%. And then you were like, wait, it could be this one. And then at the bottom it would be like A and B or all of the above. And you were like, ah, shit. And had to start erasing. Some kids never learn. The next few years we got Yahtzee and Risk. Boring. But that brings me to my new favorite game. The most popular game in 1958 was simply called Why? Little did we know we've been playing that game since Traffic Jam. Why? This is real. Listen to how crazy this game sounds. It's supposed to play like Clue. Players choose between detectives Sergeant Monday, Dick Crazy, Charlie Clam, and Shylock Bones. Let's make sure we keep Dick Crazy and Charlie Clam separated. I think Charlie might be short for Charlotte here. Shylock Bones sounds like a hound dog with a hat and a magnifying glass, so that's not going to be a lot of help. Now that means 75% of our group is made up of two people obviously trying to fuck each other and a dog trying to search for clues. I will be amazed if this group finds anything. What are they searching for, you might ask? This is real. I cannot stress that enough. They are trying to capture the ghosts of Daniel Boone, Pocahontas, Napoleon, Nero, Cleopatra, and Henry VIII. I have so many questions. Why do the ghosts outnumber the players? Why that group of historical figures? Why are they all in the same place? How did some ghosts make it halfway around the world? Do ghosts fly commercial? I just need answers. And the most popular game after that mess? Diplomacy! Now that's a game we are still trying to figure out how to play today. Are you all familiar with the sandwich theory in regards to constructive criticism? Where you give a compliment followed by a critique and then another compliment? Well, I'm going to flip that for a second. And anyways, back to my wife. She isn't always the best people person. In fact, one time on a job review, she literally wrote, "Care more?" with a question mark and turned it into her boss. At least she's self-aware. I'm usually far better with people, but I want to tell you about the worst text exchange I ever got myself into. Now, it all started really wanting to simply reply the word unsubscribe to a text thread. We've all been there. We get wrapped up in these things with 15 people on them that we never signed up for, and I've always wanted to be like, you know what the best way to get the hell out of here would be? Unsubscribe. They can't come back after that. So, my opportunity came when a coworker texted the whole team at once one afternoon. Now, I should have made more ground rules like, I don't know, maybe don't do this in a work situation. But I hadn't thought of that. I thought, this will be funny, and that will offset anything that they could possibly be talking about. The same thing I thought about before recording this special. So she texted a picture of herself driving in her car that afternoon with the windows down and a fancy little headscarf blowing in the breeze, saying something about how good of a day it was not to be in the office. I don't know. I didn't really read it because I got too excited that I finally had my chance. Unsubscribe. Boom. Sent. My coworkers are going to love this, and we will talk about how funny it was forever. Then I thought, what was so important that she was texting the whole group? And so I went back and read the message, and it said, "Happy to officially be cancer-free." I'll let that sink in. I just said unsubscribe to arguably one of the biggest moments in this woman's life. And my whole team saw it. So I put my head down and nobody ever spoke of it again. Probably the same thing that's going to happen after this special. Why was I the only one growing up that could prevent forest fires? That's what Smokey the Bear told me. And I am a terrible person to thrust this upon. I once lit a napkin on fire at home and didn't even think to go get water to put it out. I just called for my dad. That's the person you want in charge? Also, I always feel the need to really research and understand a problem before rushing in. Alex, the forest is on fire. Okay. Let's look at our options. My dad is in Wisconsin, so he's out. Grab that spell book and look for the opposite of incendiario. Also, by the way, I don't understand the fascination with firefighters. Like, your job can be done by rain. I think next time I play Pictionary, I will try to draw rain and see if maybe my wife knows a spell for that. That would be far more useful. And now some of you might think, Alex, are you really going to end your special on a goofy spell joke? Yes. Yes, I am. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.